You're tuned into the Trap House Rocks show.
Oh, you already know what time it is. It's your boy Masspike Miles, and right now you tuned in to the #1 trap house in the world. Trap House. Let's go.
Man, what's happening, LB?
What's going on, man? We got Masspike Miles up in the building, the Trap House Rock Show. What's going on, man?
Oh, you already know, smoking good, living good. You already know what time it is. What's poppin'?
Yes, sir, man. I'm in the hood. We loving that joint, man.
Word.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. We love being in the hood.
Yes, sir, man. The movement is crazy. The music is crazy, man. How you feeling right now? I know you said living good, smoking good, but how you feel right now, man? How it feel to be Masspike Miles right now?
I mean, you know, it still feels like I'm Miles, man. I'm just grinding, man. I'm appreciative of the fact that we're moving forward, and this movement is the movement to be moving with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very ecstatic about that. You hear me?
Yes, sir, man. We love the movement. We done had some of your brothers and your comrades on the joint, man. And, you know, Maybach Music got the movement going crazy out there, man.
Right.
Period, man. And it's back to that. What I would like to say is, you know, you had those eras and those crews who had crazy movements at the time they had it. Right now, it's a couple other teams out there whose time is now, but it's definitely y'all time right now, man.
Yeah, and the teams that do have that stature is a part of our circle. So you know what I'm saying?
Question.
Right.
Real.
And everybody in that movement's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, we had Gunplay come through here and Torch come through here and Smoke Gray and some of the others. It's just the movement's just crazy. All you know, they're making dope music. I mean, it's a lot of people out here, their music sucks, but they got, you know, a lot of hype going on about them. I don't know. How do you feel about the music industry right now?
Well, I feel like it's going in a great direction. You know, you gotta destroy to rebuild. You understand what I'm saying? So yes. I'm looking at it like we going back to the 80s when we were selling 250, wearing tight jeans, and you know, with the Fab Five and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
yes,
at the end of the day, you know, I actually love where music is going. I'm not gonna be biased at the fact that these young kids are doing what they do and creating how they're creating. So I'm gonna accept it and move with the time, but at the same time, introduce them to what real music is really about. You understand what I'm saying?
Sir. Yes,
and when you got a brother like Rick Ross, who's one of the best beat pickers in the world.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? It puts you on your game to what real music and what dope beats really are. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm in a perfect space in my life right now musically. So, you know, we're going to take it to that next level.
Yes, sir, man. And we loving it, man. For real, man. We having this conversation. I really can't pinpoint it right now who it was with, whether it was Razzcast or Yuckmouth, but I was saying, like, I love the fact that right now the crews that's coming out, a nigga like Rick Ross or a nigga like you know, who else? A Wayne. Niggas is not afraid to put incredible artists and MCs and innovative people on their team right now. Niggas is not grabbing a whole bunch of garbage MCs to make money off of or make themselves look good. You know, and I'm loving that part of the game right now because it's gonna make hip hop bigger and better than ever, man. And to keep the manifestation of hip hop moving like that, grabbing another incredible MC and giving him all that you got so that he could get where you at and bring the next nigga on. And I see like some of your inspirations, especially on the jazz tip, when you think about the Thelonious and Miles Davis time and the Ozzie Davis times and all that, whether it was actors, sports figures, musicians, dancers, like they was all pulling each other up the ladder. Like they had this whole renaissance, this whole movement, you feel me? And I feel like that's what's happening right now. It's like the rebirth of that right now, man.
And that goes back to destroying and rebuilding. And right now, we're in our rebuilding, you know, state. So, you know, we slowly but surely coming together and for the greater good of hip hop.
Yes, sir, man. Music, we appreciate you. Real talk, man.
Appreciate you.
Tell us what project you're working on right now.
Right now, for the last few weeks, I just built my brand new studio in Atlanta. So I've been working on my new project called Say Hello to Forever.
Wow.
set to drop December 10th. It's gonna be a musical extravaganza. You know, I really been digging deep into them crates and really figuring out what the greats was doing. Right. In their moment in time, you know what I'm saying? Greats like, you know, like the homie said, Thelonious Monk, John Coltrane, Pat Metheny, and different greats like that. I really haven't been digging into too much R&B due to the reason that, you know, I feel like most people, you know, that do R&B, that's what they do. I wanted to dig into it musically, from a musical standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And get away from, you know, what other people might have done before as far as R&B went. I just dug into the music, man. I wanted to hear what that alto or that tenor was blowing like. I wanted to hear what that pianist was riding or that flautist was riding like. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I've been doing for the last few months. You know what I'm saying? Really building my team and I signed a few artists. I signed some writers. I signed some producers. You know what I'm saying? So I just been really, you know, sitting back while, you know, the Maybach Music imprint is moving. I felt like I wanted to get my team in line as far as, you know, Masspike Miles' you know, squad in line. Right.
Is that Life for Life Entertainment?
Yes, Life for Life Entertainment. But I also started a new crew called the Inkwell. Basically, the Inkwell consists of you know, some writers, some producers, and some artists. Basically, you know, we really trying to like dig in deep and, you know, get placements with like Usher and you know, Justin Bieber and Trey Songz and Kerry Hilson, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So we're trying to take a different, you know, a different journey. I'm trying to take a different journey outside of just being an artist, you know, and really being an entrepreneur, right. and getting ready and getting my people in line so we can move forward, you know, and I could put some people on. You know, we come from a line of Jay-Z. You know, I wouldn't be claiming Maybach Music if Jay-Z didn't put, you know, Fat Boy on. You know what I'm saying?
Without question.
Now, with you, I know you've wrote and produced for a lot of people. Who are some of those people that you have wrote for and have produced for?
I've been writing since I was young, man, 11 and 12, man. I wrote for, you know, cats like Montel Williams when they was popping.
Okay.
I mean, the list goes on, man. I got my discography so crazy, I can't even think of a person. I produced for Jim Jones. I produced for Fabulous. You know, you name it, man. I could show you better than I could tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Man. I mean, that's well respected, man. And like that's dating back to what I was saying too about that whole Renaissance time. Like I think a lot of brothers be having that talent within them, and sisters as well, be having a lot of things within them, and they scared to let it out, man. I'm loving the fact that you're being a well-rounded artist, a creative being, period. You feel me? That's what I've always been about, and I've never been afraid to show people, you know what I mean? I grew up on Steely Dan, Miles. I was listening to Deep Purple. I was bumping Run DMC. I'm talking crazy shit because, like you, I grew up around musicians and people who was pushing, like the music wasn't even pushed on me. It was so much there that I could not ignore it. You know what I mean? From the jump. So I love that a lot of people nowadays is really expressing that, is coming back to that, man, where people ain't afraid to be individuals, man.
You know, our generation, homie, you know what I'm saying? We lost a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, with the crack era, with, you know, the methamphetamines era, and, you know, the MPC era. And, you know, we lost a lot of musicians. People that would have became great musicians and different things like that became jaded due to the fact of the way the industry was moving. Yeah. You know, but I think now, you know, like, you know, for instance, you know, not to go off subject, but it's kind of pertaining to it. You know, for my son got the honor roll this year, you know, before he got out of school. And, you know, he comes to Atlanta every summer to come kick it with his pops. And he you know, I said, you know, I'll buy you whatever you want, man. You can have as much money. You want to take $1,000 and go Toys R Us, get your video games. You know, my little dude like video games. Yeah. And he said to me, hey, Daddy, you know what? I've been putting some thought to it. You know, can you just get me a trumpet?
That's crazy.
I said, get you a trumpet. I said, boy, don't you know your name's Miles for a reason?
Right.
I would have bought you the trumpet without the honor roll.
Right.
Without question.
Yeah, but, you know, and that goes back to this new generation is moving in a different direction. They're getting inspired by a whole different genre of music.
Without question.
That's just music.
Yeah. And, I was reading about you, and I guess, he's getting his inspiration from his father like you did.
Oh, yeah, nah. You know what's funny is that you're absolutely correct. And sometimes you feel like a mad scientist because you sit back and you're like, wow, I created this little guy. And, for him to have an intelligent conversation with me, or for him to be, I'm out at the supermarket going food shopping for the week for us, and here he goes reading a couple chapters while we're walking around. He's just reading his book. I ain't telling him to read. He could have been playing his PS whatever, P, or his game, whatever, the Game Boy or whatever they play now. You know what I'm saying? He could have been doing that, but he reading his book and he asking me for a trumpet. So that's inspiring me to be a better dad and move forward.
Without question, man. I salute you. Let's get a round of applause for that, man, because for real, brother, giving me chills right now, dude. You heard? Real talk, man. And that's important, man. That's important. Man.
No doubt indeed.
For real, man. But LB, what's this science? Let's get into another.
Yeah, let's get into that Flatline by Masspike Miles. You know what I'm saying? We'll take a break and come back and chop it up just a little further with him after this break.
Yes, sir. Trap House rocks where the music don't stop and we beat the block.
You're
tuned into the Trap House Rocks show.
I'ma make you flatline. Shawty bad than a mother, look like a magazine cover. Wanna explode you down under, scuba dive under your covers. You looking good with them jeans on. Come taste this bottle, get your lean on. Sit on his tongue, get your cream on. I bet this finna be a theme song. Work your body, you know I puts it down. Fuck you, no worse way. We can have a party like it's your birthday. Sipping on Bacardi or on that champagne. I can tell just by the look in your eyes. You want me, baby, you can get it if you want some. They'll be ready cause you're in full ride. Cause once I'm finished, you gon' be screaming you want one. I'm all about making you moan. All through the night until morn. Try to act like this your last time. Cause when you let me, baby, I'ma make you flatline. I kill it. Yeah, I'ma make you flatline. I'm killing pussy. I'm killing pussy. I'm killing pussy. Okay, I'ma make you flatline. What's your favorite position? Is it 69? Escalate and watch me get you to the finish line. Take off your heels, loosen your bra. Show me that you can ride it like a Yamaha. Sweating out your weave, looking that ass. I guarantee it, mommy, I'ma make it last. You know what it is? Is you gotta ride? Is you down to open? I'ma come inside. Work your body, you know I put it down. Fuck you in no worse way. We can have a party like it's your birthday. Sipping on Bacardi or on that champagne. I can tell just by the look in your eyes. You want me, baby, you can get it if you want some. They'll be ready cause you're in full ride. Cause once I'm finished, you gon' be screaming you want one. I'm all about making you moan. All through the night until morn. Try to act like this your last time. Cause when you let me, baby, I'ma make you flatline. I kill it. I kill it. Yeah, I'ma make you flatline. I'm killing pussy. I'm killing pussy. I'm killing pussy. Okay, I'ma make you flatline.
You're tuned into the Trap House Rocks show.
Yeah. We just heard that Flatline, man, from Masspike Miles. We still have him on the line. Do they play that joint in strip clubs?
They've been playing it the whole BET weekend and tour up Atlanta. You know what I mean? It's currently, getting its little spins on the radio. I impact in another 2-3 weeks. You know what I mean? With that record right there. But when I tell you that's that one.
Okay. it is that one.
That's that one. Wow. I took a step out my element that I usually like playing around in.
Right.
And I dibble and dabbled in a couple different things. Shout out to my brother Cardiac. You know what I'm saying? One of the best producers coming out of New York and the tri-state area. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was just a record that I felt like is right now. It's for the clubs and all that. You know what I mean? I could dibble and dabble off into the musical aspect of it later.
Right. Tell me about the In the Hood video.
Oh, yeah, we did that. We did that at Atlanta, in the heart of Atlanta on Auburn Ave. Real
what you smoking on over there?
I'm smoking on some of that OG. You already know.
OG, okay.
Off in that rice paper with the nice filter.
Okay.
But nah, we shot that real quick. That was shot in literally about 30 minutes.
That shit's dope, man.
Thank you very much, man. My homies came to from Boston, came down and shot a little something with me. But it was just something that was real quick because I just wanted to make sure that people got a couple videos at the release of my joint. You know what I'm saying? So I released that one and Little Soldier simultaneously. I shot them both in the same day.
Okay. I actually have another question. I know, you know, when you go to masspikemiles.com, the first thing you see is the DJ Drama DJ Sent Superfly. Tell me what inspired you with the whole cut, the concept, the cut, everything.
Well, you know, with my covers, my last couple covers before I did this Road Less Traveled, you know, I always been scrutinized for being a light-skinned nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, I grew up in the inner city. All my friends was usually darker than me. You know what I'm saying? So I always got scrutinized for being a light-skinned nigga. So I always set out to be fly. You know what I'm saying? I always set out to have a fly gear. I always set out to smoke the best, or, you know, I had the flyest women. You know what I'm saying? And when I got to making the series of mixtapes on Maybach Music, I decided that I wanted to move on with people, you know, light-skinned brothers that inspired me to keep pushing and to let it be known that I'm more than what people said I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was never too black to be with the brothers. I was never too, you know, white to be with the Caucasian people. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just, you know, set a tone, and like my first joint was called The Pursuit of Happiness. I took that title off of a Will Smith movie when he had his son. You know, he was doing that, and I took, you know, the Superfly, you know, because that was another light-skinned brother that was moving back in them times. So I felt like I should move with that. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I felt like that. I felt super fly, you know? It was nothing to go get some rim bottom shoes for me and my shorty. And it was nothing to go get a couple Rolexes. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I felt at that time. You know, I never had the opportunity to go do things like that. So, you know, my swagger was somewhere else when I came out with that. That's why I did that.
That's what it
Well, guess what, G? It's all good because light-skinned niggas is making a comeback. You feel me?
Hey, man, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you, cousin. We ain't went nowhere. All the dark-skinned females that told me they ain't like light-skinned niggas, and it's the first time they ever done it, I always say, yeah, right. Not a problem. I can see that, baby. It's nothing, and I'm honored to be in your presence. You know what I'm saying?
Talk that shit.
That was hoodie. That's hoodie. So, yo, check it out, my G. What's the winter looking like for Masspike, my G?
Winter's looking real good. Nice fur coats, chinchillas. Maybe a little. I'm thinking about buying my wife a little Lotus. I'm thinking about buying myself a little Panamera. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be releasing my new joint called "Say Hello to Forever" December 10th. You already know what time it is, man. It's grind work, man. And I'm gonna be doing this tour, the Road Less Travel tour, coming to a city near you soon. We starting in St. Martin on the 21st. You know what I'm saying? And then we going from there, doing some HSBCUs and all that. You know, we're gonna move.
Now we can keep up with the tour on masspikemiles.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up to see what, you know, I ain't updated it in a couple months.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've been off my swag when it comes to that, because sometimes I guess when I, you know, I'm illiterate to something, I kind of stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna update it in the next couple of weeks for my fans and my friends. I don't even like calling them fans because it's my family. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm gonna update it for the people. I'm gonna keep people in tune to what's going on, and, you know, do a live feed and do a lot more streaming and do a lot more social networking with my people, because I feel like we need to connect. You know, I'll be by myself, bored anyway. I need to be talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, my G. I get like that all the time and shit. So, yo, what's good at him, man? Can the trap house get a 16 from your bro?
A 16? You know, I don't rap.
Nah, you did.
Well, you know, do the thing.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, you know, I could, you know, sing a little something if you want. You know what I mean?
On a track
Thing.
exclusive.
I'll hit y'all with something from that Sex Compass. Y'all familiar with that Sex Compass?
Yes, sir.
On schedule for 9 o'clock. I'll be there on time. So don't think I forgot that your needs are craving me. I'm gonna spend the night in between your sheets. We can start this at the door. Let her clothes fall to the floor. Sexy, classy girl you are, but don't take those heels off. Your imagination's running wild. Now's not the time to think. But if you're hard, baby, think out loud. Oh, yeah. You know, that's a little sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dope shit right here on Trap House Rocks, man.